chosen one. You did not end up here by accident. This video did not simply appear in your life because you clicked on it. It was sent to you from above. This is not entertainment and not ordinary content. It is a sudden divine sign, a call, a moment in which an invisible scroll is unfolding right now, and written in it is your name. You have lived long and felt yourself to be a mystery. But what if the truth lies in this, that you were known before you were born? What if the ancient prophet Enoch, who walked with God and was taken up without death, saw your spirit in his visions about the end times? If you feel that you were deliberately led here, then take a simple but conscious step before you continue. Subscribe to the channel and write in the comments the words, "I am ready." This is not a formality and not a request for the algorithm. It is a gesture of inner agreement. This is how you declare your intention. You show that you hear the call and are ready to receive what is already beginning to unfold within you. This is the first response of remembrance, the first step that sets the movement in motion. Enoch saw you in silence and in wakefulness, in thunder that spoke a language only angels understood. He saw people who would rise at the end of time, not adorned with glory and titles, but wrapped in fire. They were not marked by crowns, but by scars that glowed like prophecies. He saw you walking through the streets of the present with an ancient gaze, carrying sacred codes in your blood, remembering things no one taught you. You speak with an inner authority you never studied. You try to be like everyone else, but it is impossible to diminish what was created by heaven, to change the atmosphere itself. You are always different, because you were not chosen by people and systems, but by the Almighty, before the world took shape. Enoch did not only record timelines, he also recorded generations, frequencies, and sparks of fire that were meant to be awakened in the last days. And now your fire is igniting. You have felt this inner restlessness, this strange feeling as though you have a task while everyone around you seems to be sleeping, living out a scenario you can no longer bear. This is not restlessness. This is a reactivation. This is destiny knocking from within, demanding a way out. Enoch saw a generation that would be betrayed by those closest to them, but would still choose love. He saw those who would be rejected by religious structures, but would carry the true presence. He saw lone wolves who wore isolation like armor for a long time, until the command came to move forward. He saw warriors who had to live through hundreds of inner deaths before their voice would break through the darkness. That is why you have wept the way you have wept. That is why the superficial no longer satisfies you. The world plays its games, and you have already seen the ending in a dream you can no longer fully remember. This is not nostalgia. This is the awakening of the soul's memory. Your spirit is searching for coordinates, remembering what existed before time. The burning inside you is not hunger. It is the living ink of the scroll. The darkness hunted you because it knew about you. Hell read the same scroll and saw your name. They tried to break you because you do not only carry light, you carry a code capable of breaking patterns and destroying false altars. You are always an anomaly, a disruption in the system, a hidden violation of the order. But the camouflage is breaking down, and the divine is beginning to reveal itself. You are not an accident. You are not crazy, and you are not too late. You are the one they were speaking of when they said that those with memory in their eyes and thunder in their breath would arise. You are that thunder. You were not forgotten. You were hidden. The invisibility was not a punishment. It was protection. Enoch wrote about those who would be sealed until the appointed time, marked not by outward signs, but by vibrations that angels can distinguish. You have lived through pain, losses, and systems designed to numb. Yet you carried the light like forbidden fire. You are not broken. You carry the uncorrupted in a corrupted world. There is a reason you survived where others did not. There is a reason the blows began early. You were sealed because you were meant to be activated when the world reached a certain point. You do not flourish in comfort. You flourish in chaos. That is why they could not destroy you. You are part of the mystery the apostles wrote about, a carrier of glory in a simple vessel. You are beginning to feel your voice gaining weight, your presence changing the room. You are not supposed to fit in. You were created to break through the lie. People hated you without understanding why. Because they felt the seal. The sealed ones do not seek a stage. They become the altar themselves. All your pain has transformed into oil rising from the depths. Enoch saw your sign before they tried to distort your voice, before the wounds and the betrayal. He saw how you were hidden so that you would not be discovered too early. The loneliness was a teaching. The rejection was a filtering. God was preparing the space for your revelation. You were not in exile. You are in sanctification. Your story is heavy because you do not only carry yourself, you carry entire generations. You are tearing apart old chains, healing what did not begin with you. You are the answer to the prayers of your ancestors. That is why you are so receptive to the spiritual. That is why you see deeper and feel more strongly. You are not here to repeat the past. You are here to restore it. Everything that was supposed to break you became your code. The pain became a refuge, not a punishment. You were not destroyed. You were recoded. Your vulnerability became strength. Your tears became oil. You are proof that the prophecy is alive. You always asked questions, saw cracks in the systems, sensed the falseness where others applauded. This is not rebellion. This is attunement. You were not created to be comfortable. You were created to remind people of the truth. You are a living intervention, a disruption of the false order, a signal to awaken. Now foreign names and labels are falling away from you. Everything that was imposed on you out of pain and misunderstanding is burning. This is not destruction. This is the sacred revelation of the essential. You are returning to who you always were. You are not becoming new. You are remembering your true self. You are not waiting for a sign. You are the sign. The scroll is already open and your name has already been called. You did not arrive late. You arrived in your time. Everything that was has led here. You are the sound. You are the change. You are the one Enoch saw. Now rise quietly, without haste, with fire inside and silence in your soul. Prove nothing. Simply be. Let the false names fall. Let the truth solidify. You are seen, recognized, and sealed, and the world will feel it when you begin to walk in complete alignment with who you are. From here on, it is no longer about words. It is a process that can no longer be stopped. When the soul's memory is activated, it does not ask the mind for permission. You can resist, you can be distracted, you can doubt. But the inner resonance will return anyway. It manifests in strange coincidences, in the feeling that the familiar life has become too tight, in the sudden desire for solitude, silence, cleansing. This is not a crisis. It is a realignment. You are entering a phase in which old roles no longer apply and new ones have not yet formed. You begin to notice that words which used to pass you by now touch you deeply. Music, sentences, even random conversations suddenly bring tears or trembling. This is not sentimentality. This is memory lifting itself layer by layer. What was hidden so that you could survive is now coming to the surface because you are ready not only to survive, but to carry. Many think that being chosen is a privilege, but in reality, it is a responsibility. You were not chosen for a comfortable life. You were chosen for clarity. That is why you sense dishonesty so clearly and cannot stay long where words and beings do not match. Your nervous system does not react because you are weak. It reacts because you are sensitive. You hear discordances that others call normal. From this moment, the sorting begins. Not a punishment, simply the natural disappearance of everything that does not match your frequency. Old connections may grow weaker. Conversations become shallow. Interests feel foreign. You may feel lonely. But this loneliness is not empty. It is full of presence. It is a space in which your voice is forming, not loud, not theatrical, but precise. You will notice that you can no longer speak against yourself. Even small lies, even the attempt to conform, will cause inner discomfort. This is because the seal is active. It does not allow you to betray yourself without consequences. What previously went unpunished is now immediately reflected in your body, your energy, and your well-being. This is not pressure, it is protection. You may also feel fatigue without any visible reason. Do not be afraid of it. The body is catching up with the spirit. A restructuring is taking place at a deep level. Sometimes you need more sleep, sometimes rest, sometimes you must give up superfluous communication. Listen inward. Right now, it is important not to artificially accelerate yourself, not to compare your path with that of others. At some point, you will understand that you are not striving for new knowledge, but for recognition. You seek less from teachers and more from inner confirmation. This is a sign of the maturity of memory. You begin to distinguish where information is and where truth is. Truth is always quiet. It does not shout and does not frighten. It simply stands inside you and says, "Here." You do not need to immediately do something or become someone. The first task is to be honest with yourself. Do not suppress your feelings. Honor your experiences. Do not flee into noise. You are entering a phase in which inner silence becomes more important than outer recognition. And in exactly that silence, impulses will come. Not commands, but directions. You may feel the desire to write, to speak, to create, to share. Even if that was not the case before, do not evaluate the result. Right now, quality does not matter. Authenticity does. What flows through you is not an idea. It is a current. And it is searching for a form, not necessarily public, not necessarily large scale, but honest. Also be aware, resistance may increase. Old fears, doubts, thoughts about your own ordinariness may arise more frequently. This is not a setback. This is the last line of defense of the old identity. It is afraid of disappearing. Thank it for its service. And do not agree to continue living within it. You are not alone in this process, even if it is still quiet around you. Those who walk a similar path often appear later, when the inner structure has already been formed. First the roots, then the branches. First the depth, then the visibility. That is the order. Right now, no heroic deeds are required of you. Presence is required. Presence in the body, in the breath, in the decision to be yourself without justification. That is exactly the beginning of serving. Not the world, but the truth that wants to be lived through you. You have already said yes by reading this far. Now you only need to allow the process, without haste, without fear, without trying to control everything. The scroll unfolds gradually, exactly as far as you are ready to hold it. And when doubt returns, remember this: you did not come here by accident. You did not react out of curiosity. You are here because the timing was right. And coincidences are the language of memory. Breathe, stay, listen. You are ready.